So the main purpose of Junit is for unit level testing. Unit level testing means, so there is a class called max min. Okay, the purpose of it is, if you give an array, if you call find min method, that will return you minimum number in the array. If you call find max, that will return you maximum number in the array.
Dave, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
Actually, I missed 10 or 15 minutes class, so I didn't get anything.
I didn't start.
Okay.
So this is the starting for the session. Yeah, so this is the starting. I will tell you. I am just trying to explain what does it mean by Junit. We have done with Java content, right, in the course. So I just started with Junit. I am just telling what is the purpose of Junit. What is Junit? Junit is a unit level testing framework. What does it mean by unit level testing? Testing the methods in the class. You need to write a test case for each and every method in the class. So that's what I'm explaining. I didn't start actually. Just listen to it. Yeah, there is a class called maxmin. In that there are two methods, find min and find max. So find min method will give you the minimum number in the array. Find max will give you maximum number in the array. So like this a class is designed. If you are a tester, what developers will do means, they will give you the class. We don't write these kind of classes. As an example, I prepared this, but as a developer, I will develop some content, right? I will develop some program. It contains several methods. So I will call the tester in the team and I will ask him to write the test cases on top of it. Okay. He doesn't know anything about coding, right? Then how can he write it? We will, what we will do means, in real time we will explain him what the class will do. We will tell them what is the purpose of the class, what the methods will do. That's it, we will explain. Okay, he doesn't bother about how we implemented it. He will write the test case. Okay, for this test case, how can we write JUnit means,
So there it is a white box testing tool.
which one?
It's a JUnit is a white box testing tool?
Yeah,
Is it a kind of?
yeah, something like that, because they aware of the code, right? Even they don't bother about how we implement it, they can see the code. That's why you can call it white box testing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, maybe Kalyani, Riaz, you are not aware of these words. White box testing, black box testing. There are two things. White box testing means, if you look at the code, then, and if you look at the code and if you write some tests to verify the functionality, that is known as white box testing. If you don't look at the code without knowing anything about the implementation, you are purely concentrating on the features of the product, features of the website, then that is known as black box testing. All manual testers will do black box testing, and yeah, the testers which will work along with the development team, they will do white box testing. Okay, now let me write a test case. So in JUnit, there is a annotation called @test. If you keep @test, then it will consider it as a test method. Test max and min. Some name I gave for the method. Okay. If you wanna test any method in a class, First you need to create an object for that class. First you need to create an object for the class. So the class name is max min, right? Max and min, object equal to new max and min. Okay, I created object. After creating object, I will call the method find max number. What it is accepting? An integer array. If you see here, the input is integer array. It is accepting an array of integers. Okay. So that is known as test data. Okay, you can prepare any test data. This is my test data. So whatever you are providing as input, no, that is known as test data. So I am providing few numbers. So this is my test data. I am passing it here. So this find max will return me the maximum number. So if I call find max, that will return me some max number, right? Max. So it will return me the max number in the array. Okay. So I don't bother what you have wrote, what you have written in this find max method. I don't bother about the implementation what you have done. What I will do means by looking at the numbers, I can choose the maximum number, right? What is the maximum number in this array? 5, 2, 1, 8, 6, 3, 9, 4, 7. What's the max number? 9, right? So by looking at the test data, I can take the decision. What is the maximum number? There is a method called, there is a class called asset. On top of it, there is a method called equals, asset equals. Okay. Here you can compare two values. Here you can compare two values. What I will do means expected value means what I am expecting. By looking at the values, I am expecting 9 as the max value. And what is the actual value? The value which is coming from the method. If both are equal, I can say that the implementation is right. The implementation is correct, right? Because by looking at the numbers, I took a decision. Okay, if I give these numbers, if the code works fine, definitely 9 should come. That is my expected value. If that is equal to the actual value, then I can say that test case is passed, right? So this asset method will do the same. If both are equal, it will pass the test case. If both are not equal, it will fail the test case. Let me run it. So it's so simple. If you wanna write a Junit for any class, so see this, it's passed. Let me change something. Instead of putting greater than, I am putting less than. Okay. Just For our testing purpose, I am modifying the logic. See, if I commit a mistake like this, see, the test case will fail like this. I expected the value as 1, but the found value is 9. Okay, so they didn't match. We expected 9, but it came as 1. Both are not equal, that's why test case got failed. Like this, we will write the test cases. If we write the test case, what is the advantage? In future, if someone changes the logic, then you can find it through Junit easily. The main purpose of Junit in real time is, right, in software, no one will work forever in a company. Okay, for 2-3 years, they will migrate from one company to another company. So I joined a company. So I'm telling my experience. I joined a company as a fresher and I worked there for 3.5 years. Then I moved to some other organization. Within those 3 years, I wrote around 200, more than 200 classes, and so many methods I have written. Okay, after I quit the company, someone else will take care of them, right? I will give the KT for him for a 1 week, but within a 1 week he cannot understand all the programs what I have written for 3.5 years, right? But if someone changes, so the next person who is going to work on those classes, he will modify some logic, right? For some enhancements or bug fixes, he will modify some logic. If they commit some mistake, how will they realize? It's really difficult for them, right? With less knowledge, if they modify something, it may cause new bugs. How can they realize that? That's why in real time people will follow TDD. TDD means test driven development. Test driven development means for each and every method you are going to develop, there should be a test case. There should be a proper test case for each and every method you are going to write in the product. Okay. So in future, if someone comes and modify the logic without knowing properly, if they commit a mistake, the corresponding test case will fail. By looking at the failure, they will realize that, okay, I made a mistake, so I need to correct it. Like that, they will realize and they will correct it. That's the main purpose of JNA. Before releasing the product, the what release managers will do means they will ask to run all the JNIs. They will ask us to run all the JNIs. If everything is passing, then only they will release the product. Even one of them is failing, we need to debug, we need to find the reason for the failure, and we need to fix it. So in this way it will work. That's why we need a JNIt for each and every test, for each and every method we are going to write in the product. Is it clear?
Dave, yeah, I have just one question.
Yeah.
Is it like we have to write only one test case for one method? It's like if any class is having sub methods or something like that, any nested methods, then still we can write more test cases, right?
You can write as many test cases as you want. Like for a method, you can write 4 or 5 test cases also. But one is mandatory because see, you are if you are much passionate about technology, what will you do means you will think about all corner cases and you will write the test cases. But usually people don't do, right? That's why there are few mandatory things. People will put few principles because few people how can I say that? Few people, even you don't ask, they will proactively write the test cases. But few people, if you don't put a principle, then they don't do anything. That's why when you are developing something, it's mandatory to create one test case, one proper test case for that. If you wanna write few more, yeah, you are allowed to do that.
So like if we know the language and we'll come to know about the class, how he implemented, then we can write more test cases.
No.
Is it Like
Yeah,
like it's a scope to write more if we know the code.
yeah, you know the code, but you don't need to understand by your own. The developer who has written the code, he will write the test cases by himself in some cases. In some companies, what will they do means, if they are busy, they will call the tester of that team and they will explain what they have written, what is the purpose of that method, and they will ask a tester to develop the test case. But the communication will happen between developer and tester. You don't need to understand by your own.
Oh, that means like most of the cases, the test cases will be developed by developer itself.
Yeah, in most of the cases, they will be developed by developer itself.
Okay,
The,
and
yeah,
is it like we need any separate tool or anything you are just doing in the Eclipse itself, right? This JUnit also?
yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you. You need to download a JNet jar. Yesterday we downloaded POI jar, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good question. Like there is something called JNet, just say 4.10 jar, free download. Okay, so yeah, I will ping you in the chat. Oh, sorry. So click on this and download the jar. I told you how to add a jar yesterday, right? Like that, you need to add this jar to the project. If you add JNet jar to the project, then you can write the test case. Okay? Are you there, Kalyani? Hello?
Yeah. Yes. Hello, Dave?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so you need to download the jar and add it to the project. There is some problem with Kalyani connection, I guess.
I think this URL is taking time, so you can continue.
This jar, yeah, you can download it later, no problem. So,
Yeah, you
yeah,
can.
yeah. So how can we develop JUnit means you just need to understand the functionality and you need to create a object for the class and you need to call the method with the test data. Okay, that will return something, right? You will expect something and that will return something. If both are equal, then the test case is passed. If both are not equal, then the test case is failed. That's it. Okay. So if someone commits a mistake, then the test case will fail, then he will go to that method and he will revert the changes. If I do something without knowing it and if it's failing, what will I do? If I don't understand it properly, then I will revert the changes. I will modify it back again, right? So in that way, we can eliminate the bugs. So JUnit will be really helpful in finding the bugs in early stage and eliminating them by reverting the changes. Yeah, see this. Now see this. There is something called string reverse. Okay. What string reverse will do means there is something called string reverse. If I give some name, that will print it in the reverse way. That will print characters in reverse order. See this, what it is doing, I gave Swaroop and it is printing POORAWS. That means that it's altering all the characters in reverse order. Okay. So if I am a developer, if I explain it to you and ask you to write a test case, how can you write it? First, to test anything, we need a test data. Test data means what you are accepting, that is the test data. What string reverse is accepting? It is accepting a string, right? So string is my test data. So first I should prepare the test data. String s equal to Riyaz. So this is my test data. I prepared it. Okay. After preparing the test data, I need to create an object for the class. Whatever the class. So I am trying to test a method, right? So first I need to create a object for the class in object for the class in for which that method belongs to. Okay. New string reverse. So I created object for this class. So this method is there within this class. That's why I create object for the class, because without creating object I cannot call the method object. Okay, then obj dot the method name is reverse and my test data is string s equal to real. I am passing the test data. So if I call reverse method, that is returning me string. So that is returning me string. So it will reverse it and it will give that string to me. Okay, string reversed. So I am getting the reversed value. Okay, now as I explained earlier, there is a method called assert equals. Okay, what is the actual value? Actual value is reversed. From the method what you are getting, that is the actual value. And what is the expected value? Expected value you have to write. So yeah, reverse that string. What is the first character? What is the last character? Z. Then A. Then Y. Then I. Then R. So expected value you will write by looking at the test input. You gave some test input and you know what output will come from it. So you will write it, okay, you will expect it and you will write it here. And you will compare it with the value which is coming from the method. If both are equal, then you will say that the test case is passed. See, the test case is passed. Is it clear how I am writing the JUnits?
Dev, one question.
Yeah.
Actually, like max min and string reverse, everything you have written in the separate Java classes, right?
Separate methods, yeah.
Uh, the
You are
files
talking
also
about test
separate.
methods or the methods in the classes?
I mean, like I'm talking about the files. .java files are separate,
Yeah, they are separate.
right?
Yeah.
And then you are getting all those classes using these import statements, right?
Yeah, import statements. Yeah, right.
Okay, and then you are testing here. Okay.
Yeah. So in Java, what will happen means if you are using a class in another class, definitely it has to be imported. Then only you will get a handle on top of it.
Because like previously few of the statements while writing itself that import got generated, but this time you have written, I guess, right?
No. I didn't return. I didn't write actually. So here also. See, max and min is there, right? If I
Okay.
if I say control space and enter, import is added. Did you observe that?
Yeah, okay, I'm fine now. I just
Yeah.
got confused.
No. I didn't write manually. It will be added by Eclipse itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So you are clear, right? Okay, yeah. But Kalyani, are you there? Did you listen anything? You are good? You understood everything? Okay, but you joined so many times, right? I thought you didn't listen anything.
No, I'm good actually.
Okay, then. Yeah, then I'm fine. Yeah, anyway, I will stop the recording and will share the video with you. If you wanna follow one more time, you can follow.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, I will share. So, we discussed about this, right? And I will tell you one more thing. Not only assert equal, there are few more methods like assert dot, assert true, or assert false, assert null. Like that, so many methods are there. Assert not equal. So based on your use case, you need to choose one of them. Now I will tell you one more use case. In that case, assert equals is not helpful much. So there is a class called palindrome. What does it mean by palindrome? What it will do? If you give a string, have you heard about palindrome? Palindrome means I will give you a string, you will reverse it. After reversing the string, if both are equal, that is known as palindrome. So there is a word called madam. So consider a word called madam. If you reverse it, what will happen? You will get the same, right? So I can call it like a palindrome. So it's a palindrome because if I reverse it, I will get again same word MATAM. So I will get the same, right? That's why it is known as palindrome. If I give Dev, then it's not a palindrome. It's not a palindrome. But if I give DED, then what will happen? After reversing also, I will get the same. So it will print like it's a palindrome. Okay, yeah. In palindrome class, there is a method called isPalindrome. It's returning a boolean value. It's not returning a string, it's returning a boolean value. So this is the output and this is the input. Input is nothing but our test data. Okay, let me write the test case for it. So string s equal to something. Here I gave Umar. Let me give Nagarani. So I gave Nagarani here. Okay. As I explained earlier, you need to, if you wanna test something, you need to create an object for that class. Okay. So palindrome object equal to new palindrome. So I created. Then I need to call the method. Is palindrome and I am passing the string s. Here it will return me something, right? It will return me a boolean value, right? Boolean output. Some output it gave. Now it's a boolean, right? In case of boolean, you can write it like this: assert dot assert equals the actual value is output and the expected value is, so Nagarani is a palindrome or not? It's not a palindrome, right? So it should return false. Like this I will write the test case, but there is an easiest way. In case of boolean, there is no need to use assert equals. There is something called, there are two methods called assert true and assert false. If you are expecting a true value, then you should call assert true. If you are expecting a false value, you should call assert false. We are expecting a false value, right? Nagarani is not a palindrome. So each palindrome should return false. I am expecting false, so I will directly call assert false and output. See, the test case is passed. If I give madam, then if I give assert false, then it will fail. Because expected value false but found was true. If I give madam, it will return me true value, right? In such cases, I should not Assert for false, I should assert for true. If you are expecting a true value, you should assert for true. If you are expecting a false value, then you should assert for false. What assert true will do means, if it gets a true value, then it will pass the test case. If it gets a false value, it will make the test case fail. Like that, it will work. See, now the test case is passed. So if your output is a Boolean value, then don't go ahead with assert equal. There are two methods, assert true and assert false. If you are expecting a true value, then call assert true. If you are expecting a false value, then call assert false. Like that, based on your use case, you need to choose one of the assert methods. Assert equal. If you are trying to compare two values and if they are not equal, then you want to pass the test case. Then you need to call assert not equals instead of equal. If you are comparing two values and if you want both has to be equal to pass the test case, then you will call assert equal. If you are comparing two values and if you want they shouldn't be equal, then you will go ahead with assert not equal. Like that it will work. Assert true, assert false, assert equals, assert not equal, assert null, assert not null. So if you are expecting a null value, then you will call assert null. If you are expecting a not null value, then you will call assert not null. Like that, there are mainly 6-7 methods which are most frequently used by us in real time. Yeah, this is all about chaining. But in most of the cases, people will use assert equals. If you use assert equals method, you can write 90% of the test case.
This assert command is purely for JUnit only, right?
Yeah,
We doesn't
JUnit. So yeah, if you don't add the JUnit jar, you don't get this assert class. Okay, and this annotation is also very, very important. See, I have these test methods, right? After writing the test methods, what will we do means, we will right click on the class and we will say run as JUnit. If I say run as JUnit, everything will be executed. 1, 2, 3. He will give the time also 0.001 seconds, 0.003 seconds, 0.001 seconds. The advantage is he will generate it like a report. Okay. I told you, right? After executing the test cases, managers will ask the report. How many test cases you have executed? How much time it took to execute them? Like that, they will ask so many questions. We can answer everything through this. So I can say that, see, here it's clearly showing, right? Run 3 by 3. That means that I ran 3 test cases, everything is passed. Errors are 0, failures are 0. And the time it took to run all the test cases is 0.005 seconds. And for the first test case, it took 0.001 seconds. For second test case, it took 0.003 seconds. Like that, it will show you how much time it took for each and every test case. See, for max and min, it took more time because there are multiple numbers. It has to go through each and every number and check for the max value, right? There is a for loop within it. That's why it took more time when compared to others. So like that, all the statistics will come through this. That's the main advantage with JUnit. Along with running the test cases, it will generate the report with all the values. You can share it with our manager. That's the biggest advantage you will get with JUnit. If you don't put test annotation, then it doesn't consider it as a test method. See, I removed this @test method from this method and I am running it. I am again saying run as JUnit. It ran only two. It ran only string reverse palindrome. It didn't run this test max min method because if you don't keep @test method, it doesn't consider it as a test method. It will consider it as a normal method. JUnit will run only the test cases. JUnit will run only the methods which contains this annotation @test. So is known as, if you keep something with that is known as annotation. If you keep @test annotation, then only it will be considered as a test method. If you don't keep @test, then it doesn't run them. It doesn't consider as a test method. That you should remember. So at the rate test annotation is needed, and you should use assert methods to complete the test case. Is it clear for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are few more annotations at the rate before, at the rate after, at the rate before test, at the rate after test. But it's already 8:30. Okay. So I'm concluding the session for today. Okay. I will explain them in tomorrow's session. Okay. Yeah. I will share this recording with you all. Okay. I will email you the link. Riyaz, did you send me your email? Can you send it again? I don't have it, I guess. Can you ping me in the chat your email ID? Just wait in the class.